My name is Nico from Killmer, and this is our song Highway Hypnosis.
Who would have thought?
Shades on.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me.
Yo, what's up, dog? My name is CHRVNS.
I'm Ovrthnkr.
And today we have a very special guest. Has been all around, especially in PDX.
Big time.
From Walla Walla, I found out. What the fuck's in Walla Walla? We're going to find out.
Just me, I think.
We have
That's what we found out.
One of three members, correct?
Yes, right.
One of three members today from the legendary band, or new forming legendary band, Killmer.
Let's go.
So for the people that don't know, tell them who you are and what you do.
My name is Nico Carrera. I am the guitarist and one of the singers of Killmer.
Hell yeah. And who are we missing today?
we're missing Brett Sperry, our bassist and the other singer, and our drummer Austin Gardner.
All right. And I heard that they was on the radio today talking shit.
Yeah, they were
No
on
way.
Portland's very own X-Ray FM. So with DJ Barbarella. So go check that out. It'll be on their archive. So it's a great X-Ray's
live?
awesome.
It was like
That's
It was
sweet.
live on the radio, and then you got your archive. So it was cool.
Hell
They
yeah.
played some of our songs and kind of talked about the band, and we put together a playlist of our influences and stuff. So it was cool. It was,
You know what's gonna be dope though? To be able to do a compare and contrast between that interview and this one.
Yeah. See the energy difference.
I'm a
See what it's
competitive
like?
guy. I'm planning on doing better than them.
All right, well, we'll bring it,
coming
man.
for
We
y'all
got
next,
that- we got the space. How long of an interview was it?
They did a whole hour. Yeah, they did. They
Damn.
took over the whole show. It was cool. Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Congrats. That's big time.
We got an hour buck here, but you know what I'm saying? We chill, we still hanging out.
We'll do an hour and 1 minute.
So
I love it.
From what I know is we started last year.
Yeah.
What's the origin story?
We played right. Our first show was like, right before Christmas of 23. And I guess the origin story is, me and these Brett and Austin were just good friends, like very similar music tastes. And Brett was in another band and I was in another band. And both were just kind of a little bit stagnant. We were both looking to kind of do something different. And him and I were both kind of like the driving forces behind each of our bands. And I think we were both a little bit worn out of being the sole driving force behind the band. So we'd both been talking about trying to figure out a way to, maybe do something together. And Austin, has been known as a great drummer, but had been kind of dormant. He'd spent a lot of time focusing on his career as like a videographer, and Brett and I,
sick.
knowing that he's a great musician, and
Then you got the
at
videos
least
on
by
top.
by a reputation, we're like, okay, well, we got to break this guy out of retirement, and
Yeah.
we were pretty persistent, and just eventually broke him down, and the three of us just got into a room, and really just from a place of being great friends and just lovers of music, and very differing but really similar things too. We got into the same room, and it's just been zoom from there.
Yeah,
So
the connection is there, dude. Sometimes when the connection hits, it's just all the little chains link, and all the same interests and background, and it's just magical when that happens.
yeah, it's
That's
definitely
amazing.
it's been a magical experience to get to make music with two of my best friends, and like even from then to now, it's just keeps getting more fun every day. So it's been good.
So hold on, we're going. So you kind of just skimmed over it, but driving forces of our previous bands. What was that transition like then?
Well, it was pretty. I mean, at least from my side of the things, it was a little bit easier because we were all living in Portland at the time, and I was very much actively trying to move to Bellingham during that time.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's
so-
that's a wild.
What made you want to get to
Because
Bellingham?
usually it goes Bellingham to Portland.
yeah. Well, I'm a
Bellingham-
contrarian. So
it stuck out to you in some way, or what drove you? over here?
yeah, I've been visiting Bellingham for a long time. One of my best friends from high school has lived here since graduating high school, and
Nice.
he's a great musician as well. And that was definitely a driving force for me to get here. As him and I are in the baby stages of launching a project too. I mean, this is Killmer is my baby and my number one thing, but I'm very, I'm trying to play as much music as I possibly
Totally.
can. And when you're in a band with people from a different city too, it's like, I got lots of time to fill. So
Yeah.
Totally. And you
give
got
me a
different-
call.
different channels for creativity is
Yeah,
great
definitely.
too.
This is like Killmer's, pretty garagey, psyche punk stuff. And
fun.
like
It's fun.
my buddy Ethan and I are doing very much more of like an Americana sort of a thing.
that's
so
sick.
nice.
So yeah, I'm kind of activating a whole different part of my thing. But that was a huge inspiration. And honestly, like I just love Bellingham. It's
amazing, man.
beautiful, magical place to be. So my girlfriend is a scientist, and she got a job working for Fish and Wildlife. So it's like a big
Damn,
deal.
cool.
Like this is a great place to be involved in the sciences,
Oh, yeah.
obviously. So it was a move for both of us really, but yeah, I'd been in Portland for 10 years, ready to do something different, but I digress.
I know that feeling,
No, that's
bro.
great, man. So did you feel like you were just kind of spinning your wheels without any output, like an old band? I mean, not to bash.
No,
them.
not at all.
But-
I guess that for me, like, I think that knowing that Brett was there was so much evidence of his motivation, and I think for me as well, like I mean, music is fun and it's supposed to be an enjoyable thing, and everybody can take that and run with it as they want to. So, you know, no ill will against those people. It's just, I'm just kind of a pedal to the metal sort of person. So
Get shit done, bro.
Yeah, every creative endeavor has its own vibe, and they're all equal in their own right.
Yeah.
But you got to find your groove in your space, right?
So it's been good. Like, yeah, you know, I was trying to move to Bellingham, but I knew I wanted to do something with two of my best buds, and especially, you know, like, especially when I saw an opportunity to work with someone that I felt was really in the same headspace as me as far as, you know, the work of it all. So we got it going, and, you know, moving is hard and takes a while. And I guess, you know, thankfully it took longer than we expected. So we got a really good little runway to kind of get Killmer off the ground. And we spent like the first 6 months of, 24 really getting to put a lot of work in. We wrote a whole record. We did like basic tracks on the whole record that is now out primo. And then also we did 11 songs of basic tracking. We put 3 out as an EP, 8 out as a record. The first 3 being kind of like, you know, we're just learning each other's styles and stuff. So we felt like we had these 3 songs separated that were kind of one sound. And then we felt like we had these 8 songs that were like, these are where we're kind of going. And that's what is primo now. And so we got the bare bones work of the drums and bass done. And then we did since then we did all of the tracking of guitars and vocals and everything on our own, and made it happen. So it's just it's been a learning process of learning how to be a long distance band. But
no doubt.
you know, we've done it. Here we are. We're doing it.
We'll be right back after these messages. We'd like to give a special thanks to Lost Giant Cider Company, always providing us with our cider beverages and the best of the cider beverages. Visit Lost Giant's tap room in the heart of Bellingham at 1200 Meter Avenue in the Haskell Business Center. It's just down the street from Lakeway Fred Meyer.
Menace Brewing, located in the Fountain District, is where flavor is unleashed. It serves as a local hub of craft beer and community. Recognized as the neighborhood's premier soccer hangout, you know I love me some soccer. Menace Brewing isn't just a brewery, it's the go-to spot for sports action and local engagement. Visitors can catch the game, connect with fellow fans, and immerse themselves in the heart of the spirited community. Menace Brewing invites everyone to join them, where every visit feels like coming home. Experience Menace Brewing in Bellingham today.
And welcome back. May 30th, Primo just came out. Phenomenal album. Did a run through. God damn, y'all boys snap.
Yeah, you snapped.
I do want to ask, how did you land on the name Primo? What's up with the alien? Because you stole my alien, bro. See, you stole my alien, bro.
I love it. Well, I see you're wearing the Bonnaroo thing. So this is these guys, Brett and Austin, were at Desert Days, another wonderful festival. Rest in peace. Yeah. But those guys were there, and this is just one of those fun psychedelic festival moments where they had their little blow up alien, and they're, you know, you get silly running around with your alien
from
guy. This is from Desert
festival.
Days Hangout, and they're just
great.
This is Kirby, is what his name
Just
is.
a no context picture is the best. But you have the context. That's the
you
best
know,
part.
I mean, I think it's cool. I think that in the past, I've probably spent a lot of time taking myself and my music pretty seriously, and I, you know, and there's still so much self-seriousness to what we're doing musically and everything. But like, I think it's also been really fun with this band to be like, just to be silly, you know, and to like just have fun and
leave it open to interpretation. Is kind of let it find a meaning of its own.
So I guess Primo. What is Primo? Primo for. It was a late night joke around conversation. And you know, we were kind of talking about, well, what is this album? I was like, it's the premium. It's the stuff. It's primo.
It's pure gas, bro. It's pure gas, bro.
And I'm half Mexican, so all my cousins are my primos. You know, so it's like, it's like, hey, primo. You know, like that's that too. So
that's
you
great.
know, we're primos. We're hermanos. We're the whole 9 yards. So it's all that. Just you know, it's fantastic and it's
Magnifico.
silly.
Yeah, no, totally. And like the exclamation point too.
Yeah, and the lowercase p. You know, we're really thought out this dumbass name.
But no, definitely was capitalizations always do have a very big impact on how.
Yeah, no, capitalization. Well, because capitalizations for serious words, right? If it's an important word, important place. But if you lowercase, it's like, hey, we're just playing around.
We're a capital.
Everything's
We're a
all makes
lowercase exclamation point band.
Yes.
It's a soft L. It's a soft L.
For fans of lowercase and exclamation points.
Hey, subdued excitement, right?
Yes.
That's the city
Honestly,
of that.
Catching on.
Nail on the head.
Local
There you go.
already.
So then, I know you guys have, so the standout to me was, of course, VHS. What was the process like, just making the album and everything? I know you said this was all separate, or you were together first, and then...
Yeah, we did the writing process was all of us being in Portland together and working on stuff. And, our writing process is very open. This is a real yes and sort of
Is
band.
this the, y'all just jam and just keep going?
Well, I think with this album has been a lot of because Brett and I were coming from previous projects, it's a little bit more.
They had everything in a pocket.
Well, not all of it, but
You had improv techniques in the pocket. You know what you're doing.
It came from a place of more of us having riffs and then getting in the same room and writing off stuff. Whereas we're already halfway deep musically on the next record, so we're really trying to be prolific and keep it moving. Mm-hmm. So the next stuff is very much more get in the room, find an idea, and it's been even more collaborative, I think. But this album was maybe things were a verse and a chorus, or the flesh out of it all was a little bit more thought out when we got there. But all of us are we're proficient musicians, I think, and we have a lot of ideas. Even though Brett and I are, the musical songwriters of it all, Austin's coming up with so many cool ideas, rhythmically and arrangement wise.
How to chop it up, how to surprise the folks.
Yeah, definitely a lot of that. I'm kind of I'm the notorious one in the band for being never writing the same thing twice. It's oh yeah, let's do that 5 times on the first person, then 4 times on the second. Oh yeah, I know the first time around that's a C, but then the next time around it's going to be A minor. And everyone's what the fuck, dude? How am I supposed to remember any of this stuff?
You're but you're not that. Don't worry, you're not prog band yet. You're still working in because it can get crazy. But
I'm the least proggy guy. Brett's the prog guy, so. But you
guys have a vibe. The thing is, when I was listening to your music, I was this is a type of music that I could hear as placements and I mean that in the best way.
That's very complimentary.
Because it has because when you're looking for music that's placements for movies or something, or even a party, you bring it out to a party, you want a vibe and that's distinct and you can feel it, you can bite into it, right?
So much of my favorite music's found off movies and TV shows anymore,
Shazam up to the TV, baby.
Shazam.
To the TV. Real. No, for real. There's definitely a thing about the music is for creating and setting that vibe, and sometimes that's lost. Maybe in prog music, I love prog music, but that's about the technicalities and the fun. But I really like you said, when you get silly, you get fun. You're whatever. Let's just feel a vibe out and just rock into it.
And stretch your legs, as a musician. That's something that's fun. Is challenging ourselves. That's something we're always thinking about. Is trying and challenging your listener. That's a fun thing to do as well. It's can you hang on for the ride? And is the ride worth it? That's part of it too. You got to make it worth it. You can't just fuck around to fuck around.
Yeah, exactly. Going that sometimes when you're able to do 100%, going 75% is nice. You're I'm just gonna do this, and it's gonna sound great though still because you trust yourself.
Then you still got that space to kind of fill in pockets.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the intention. I think with anything, it's what 100%. Are you? You set your intentions and be all right, I'm setting the cruise control at 55 and I'm riding down the highway at this one. And then it's I'm redlining this part, So you got to have a
double shift down. Is
we grind gears.
Do you guys feel that there's a lot of big leaps to get over as a band? What's the most challenging thing, maybe not interpersonally, but musically or whatever it is?
Yeah. I mean, there's been the learning curve of us, being a long distance band. That's for sure been a thing. But
sessions over Zoom.
Mm-hmm. we haven't gone that far yet. But
Hey, shout out 2020 though.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, it's just been. Luckily, we've gotten to play so many shows together this year, so we've been able to stay fresh and then find it's been a lot of cool things of doing weekend runs to where it's we'll pop down to Portland and then get to, practice one day and then do shows and do a couple more shows around the area. Or they've popped up to Bellingham and we'll practice and do a show and stuff. So we've been able to stay fresh enough to like even like this weekend we're playing in Seattle and in Tacoma, and like we'll go into the Seattle show dry, you know, no practice.
Yeah.
But we played together. We played together 2 weeks ago for our record release show, so it's like we're good. We're gonna be okay.
So you feel like you've been, even though you're a long distance band, you've been able to make it over that hump.
Yeah,
like,
and again, like talking about intention, like I think that we've done things like we've taken a writing retreat to where we all take a weekend and go out somewhere and just work. So like,
where'd you guys take that at?
We went out to Long Beach in Washington. We had a friend who had an amazingly beautiful house. Shout out Jacob Reams.
Shout out to you, Jacob.
And we got to stay at his house, and like it's secluded, and like we were playing until 2 a.m. and just jamming, and
whatever inspiration hits.
We were, you know,
1:30 a.m.
taking and finding inspiration. It was fantastic, man. And we wrote half of a new record that we're gonna, you know, be trying to. The goal is to have the record at least in some sort of finished state of recording before the end of the year, and have another record out by the end of, you know, next year for sure. We're trying, you know, we're inspired by very prolific bands, and I think,
like who?
You know,
Who's your top 5?
Ooh, I mean, you know,
Or
I don't
just
know
top
about
5,
top
like,
5, but like,
I would say inspiration for the band.
We very much like came together off of being big fans of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, who are maybe like the most prolific band in the world. You know,
yeah,
like,
of course. I mean, they're obviously the gods, right?
Yeah, we're
3 days, dog. 3 days in the motherfucking row.
We're Giz heads. We've seen a lot of Giz shows together. That's definitely a big jumping off point for the band. White Denim, Frankie and the Witch Fingers. Like we, you know, I think that we're a band that like plays with style. You know, like that's kind of a
little steez on you. Got some steez on you. I smell it.
Yeah, you know, and like and at the same time too, I think like with things about those kind of bands is that they do it in a way to where it's like they can play with style, but there's still something that is very much their sound, their own thing.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that we're always very cognizant of, is like we want to be able to push the boundaries of like what Killmer is, but still have it sound like who we are.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe, you know, like we like to say like, you know, like Giz paints without lines. And then like we are a band that paints outside of the lines. Like we like to use the lines, but paint outside of them, you know, like,
stretch it, bend it, whatever.
You know, cause I think that at least for now, like having some sort, especially being a new band, like having a focus thing, something to where it's like, you can at least feel comfortable in what we're going to bring to the table. Like, I think that's still, you know, being new is important. So, but I think what's been cool about this first record is like, we were kind of figuring out what that sounds like. And I think when you listen to our stuff, and like, especially when we put out the EP and then people would see us, they're like, shit, that's not what I thought it was going to be. But then you hear a primo and you're like, okay, well that's
what I was expecting.
The band, you know? And then now I think on this next record, it's going to be even more, you know, like somehow honed in and more versatile. So it's been fun.
We'll be right back after these messages. Hey folks, Subjam just launched their Indiegogo campaign, and they need your help. If you believe in live, local music and want a streaming platform that actually supports real scenes and real artists, this is your moment. Funds go directly towards launching the Android app, adding scenes, and rolling out new social features like favorites, comments, and DMs. The iOS beta is already live. Now it's time to take it further. Hit up igg.me/@/Subjam and support the movement. Binary Recording Studio is a versatile space designed to cater to all music genres. And when I say all, I mean all. If you're into jazz, rock, hip-hop, or anything in between, Binary is equipped to bring your music to life. With the expert engineering and the best setup, my boy Bob, he can capture the essence of whatever you are wanting to create and bring it, you know, just to reality. From there, book your session today, unleash your creativity at Binary Recording Studio. But for real, my boy Bob, he will not disappoint. And welcome back.
That's awesome, man. It's so funny. When I listened to you guys' Permafrown, the first song that comes up on Spotify, right? And so the first time I hear it, it's so funny. So you bring up all these inspirations, right? But the first time I heard it, like, and everybody gets different, like, oh, this sounds like. And to me, the things that I was listening to, I was like this is giving me like Arctic Monkeys vibe.
Oh, cool.
Which is probably weird and maybe out of left field for you.
No, not you.
But I'm like, kind of the structure and kind of how like the simplicity. I think it was the mixing. I'm an engineer too, so I'm thinking of like the mixing, getting that like quick
tones,
slap back on the vocals and like all those things. And it's cool too, because like, Arctic Monkeys may have all this big different inspiration too, but they've channeled it down, and who knows, that's the thing.
AM
That's
is one of my favorite records. So
No, 10 out of 10.
it's a 10 out of 10.
That's a perfect record.
It's so interesting.
Why you only call me when you're high?
we have all our inspirations, and it like almost it matters, but it like to the listener it might be just totally non-existent.
I always think about like when people come up and tell me that my music reminds them of something. Like I don't even care what they say. Like because if they're telling me that
just for them, right?
Nah, fuck that. So what's like the most common things you get?
Yeah.
with Killmer, I don't know. Like
No. So not with Killmer. Let's say like previous things. What would have been some of the most common like sounds?
With my last band, the Celebrators, for some reason, I always used to get like people would really think that we had a real '90s sound to us, which is really weird because like was never very like that's not something that's in my like listening repertoire.
But subconsciously,
like,
you was locked in.
Like Blind
Maybe
Melon,
it's just like
and
it's
like which
the
is a
tone
cool
or something.
Yeah.
Like I mean I'm a guitar player and I like to play the guitar and like you work it as an instrument. So I think that like Shannon Hoon's an amazing guitar player and I'm like and they're I was like so that's cool. I'm definitely flattered by that, but it was never something to me. It's like when I sat down to write, no, I don't even fucking know that many of Blind Melon songs. I know the B song, or
but it's so wild. It's so creative. The way I think about creativity, and this is kind of like going a little bit, philosophical, metaphorical.
I'm down for that. Let's
the
ride.
Netflix logo when it zooms in, right? It goes and it goes from red, and then it zooms into all the colors, right? And I'm a big branding guy, so I think it's intentional. It's like here's our brand. But within our brand, all the colors.
Ooh, I like that.
When you see a color, and you can see a color, if you zoom in, you could zoom in, and it could be a bunch of different colors, just making up one color, right?
Yeah.
And you can keep going on one color. And so it's like creativity.
On the outside, it looks like one thing, but on the inside, it's a lot more.
You zoom out far enough
depth.
as a listener, you're out here, but
simplified.
deeper and deeper you get in the band, you can start to pick out all these different shades and tones that are making up the full
I think
thing.
that's cool. Like you can take
of
the
the
1,000.
Yeah.
You can take the 1,000-foot view of a band, but like, and then that's what
that's
their
a color.
sound is.
Yeah.
But then you zoom in, and all of a sudden you can start picking apart like all the different little things that like make them who they are.
Which is great.
That's a beautiful analogy. I really like that.
Netflix.
Thanks, Netflix.
Thanks, Netflix. Yeah.
I gotta finish.
I got $18 a month right there.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. I gotta go finish season 2 of Tires right now, bro.
Working on it.
I got like 8 episodes done at work.
Damn.
So I got like 4 more
Sounds
left.
like a good day at work.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was. It was
But yeah, creativity is just a crazy thing. But you guys, like, I feel that your sound is consistent, though. So it clearly means like there are those inspirations that are persistent within each individual and what they bring to the table,
Yeah, or it's like kind of, you chisel at the rock. Like we've like bring the larger idea of what we're trying, like whatever inspiration you have, but then you whittle it down to what we're trying to do like as a unit and as a band to, to accomplish whatever vision that we're trying to do. So, Primo was like, I think a little bit more expansive in that we were surely crunched on time too, but now I feel like we spent so much time in shows, like it feels like we're kind of like locking into the superpower of like who we are too as a band. It's like the things
able
just
to flow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just like so much more, natural. And it's like, well, this is what we do well. Like now we're able to kind of lock into that with our songwriting, and it's been so fun to have worked so hard on this thing, and in no way is our like excitement about these songs like we're not tired of playing them like out live, but it's cool like even in the last few shows like we've busted out a couple of the jams and like used them as instrumental interludes between other songs. Like we're like we gotta test them out, take them for a spin, see how it goes.
Take them for a spin. I like that.
Yeah, it's been cool. You gotta crowd test them. You gotta see how it
does it sound live. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of like live bands that I think like I've had so much fun and like been able to accomplish a lot of the visions and the things that I've set out to do live as a in bands before, but this album, I think really in a way is the first thing that I've gotten to be a part of that like really holds up to what our live performance is. Like
That's sweet.
I still think that we're probably come see us live, you know, like that's, I love
Come
that
see them live.
experience. But,
So, we're just gonna come out afterwards. But hey, all weekend, y'all better kill it all weekend.
yeah, it's all good. Yeah, we're in Seattle and Tacoma this weekend, but we've got
Anything in July?
in July we're at the Mackenzie River Jam Festival
Bam.
down in Eugene area,
Oh, it's sick.
Nice.
and then we're in Portland on August 15th, and we're in Seattle at the Sunset Tavern on August 17th, and then we're gonna do a run from here on down to Northern California and back from the end of August to September, and we're gonna close it out here in Bellingham at the Shakedown on September 7th. So that'll
go.
be
Yeah.
and just keep an eye out. I'm sure we're kind of we're always adding stuff, so there could be more between now and then. But yeah, that's the summer plans, and then keep hitting it hard into the fall and just more and more and more. That's the idea.
yeah.
So, but all right,
Just
but
keep it going.
you coming up to Bellingham though?
Yeah.
There's a thing. There's a thing
You're
when
gonna
you're
kill
in
it at the Shakedown for
there's
sure.
there's a thing when you're in a band in Bellingham. You're not in one band.
that is the case.
That's the case.
That's the case for that's been the case for me. Yeah, I mean,
That ends up the case.
moving up here a year ago, like I landed and I knew that meant being away from this project, and I wanted to find more time. So we'd spent time trying to find bands to play with in Bellingham because we're like, well, I'm gonna be here.
Yeah,
We got
makes
to
sense.
find
That's
stuff
what
to
I was
do.
thinking. Because if you're being separate, how many bands are you in?
Well, right now I'm playing with Killmer, obviously, and then I play with Full Color Dream here in Bellingham, which is a great indie rock band, and we just kind of connected with them to try and figure out shows. And then when I moved up here, I saw they were looking for a guitar player, and I was like,
Oh, boom.
answered the ad, and
He took one of those little papers off the telephone.
yeah, exactly. The digital telephone pole I removed it from, and hit him up, and I jammed with them one time and really connected with them. They're great guys, and they're an awesome band, and it's been a really fun experience. Like especially from doing this project where being one of the main songwriters, it's really fun to kind of come up and play guitar and just be like more producer brain with it and like help get the songs, like help someone else who's the main songwriter like whittle things down to where is the band. So it's been a really fun experience, and all of the shows that we've really been playing this year as Killmer have been with Full Color Dream. We were doing like the frickin' road circus together.
So are you doing like both sets?
Wow,
then?
let's
Every
go.
time?
Yeah, so I play both sets. It's really, really
That's
fun.
awesome.
My boy,
it's
that
so
locked
fun,
in.
dude.
Locked
It is
in.
so fun.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the way things move, though, is that collaboration and that like unity between both, groups trying to get it. Everyone's out here at the same time.
So we're gonna do the
Takes a
end of
village.
summer
Takes a
tour is gonna
village.
be with those guys, and
You're
actually,
gonna be gassed.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
I'm jazzed to be gassed. That's the kind of gassed I want to
jazzed
be,
to be
dude.
gassed.
That is what-
White people should have right my life, nigga.
Hey, that's hard.
I
though.
love it. I love it.
We're just gonna cross pollinate. We're gonna make it a whole thing. It's gonna
Yeah,
be great, man.
man.
Yeah, we're excited.
So you guys are you're talking about live experience a lot. And for me, I think it's really cool. Like everybody knows the experience of like when you see a live band, you're like, yo, tell all your friends, you gotta check this band out. You gotta check this band. It always makes such a bigger impact when you see a band live, right? So, but you want to come correct.
Yeah.
What are the worst? Here's a question. What are some of the most embarrassing, wacky, silly, crazy times you've had in a live
What's
experience?
the wackest experience you had live?
That you did not expect, like
like,
engineer stuff, crowd stuff,
Okay,
stage
cool.
stuff.
I got a good one.
Exactly.
That was a hard.
Locked
That was
in.
a hard question, but luckily it snapped in quickly.
Bam.
enough. We were in.
He's traumatized.
We were in Eugene, like back in March, and we were playing a set, and it was a really cool venue, and the crowd wasn't a big crowd. Like we had pretty good crowds the rest of that tour, but like we popped into Eugene, and like the crowd was like mediocre, but great venue, great sound, everything was
Sure.
like pretty awesome.
You're like, we're here for
but
it.
the crowd was tuned up, dude. They were so wasted. And there was this one lady and her boyfriend, like an older lady, like in her probably 50s or 60s. And they were so smashed, like in the front, like literally like falling down on the ground. And like, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I think like for me as a performer, like I want to make you like want to like disarm the situation, you know, to like, so like I didn't want to make those people feel bad, but I also wanted to make the other people in the crowd who are like witnessing something that's like,
You got to be the mediator.
yeah.
Nah, what the fuck did you do,
So
bro?
like at one
What
point,
the fuck did you do?
At one point, this lady like is like sitting on the edge of the stage, and she's just like, oh fuck.
Oof.
So then I go to the other side of the stage, and I'm like playing a guitar solo, and I just sit down.
You kind of match it.
and I look over at her. I just go, hey, what's up? You know. And then of course she decides she needs to come. That hypes her up. So she gets up, comes over, and starts lap dancing me during my guitar solo. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Did not go how I would plan.
Who's serenading who in that situation?
Nah, fuck all that. It went exactly how he planned. He was this.
This is what I've been waiting
With
for my
all
whole
due
career.
respect to that wonderful, wonderful lady.
Damn, that's
was
so
Hey,
crazy.
shawty.
Lap dance while doing a guitar solo. I can see like a little like cartoon animations.
He's holding up the guitar.
I was just like looking back at my buddies. I'm like, not what I was trying to.
You're like, I was trying to mediate.
Also,
the
that means her
situation.
fans was just watching that too, because they're like, "What did you say to her?"
Needless to say, the situation
eyes.
was disarmed.
Yeah.
I put all of it back
Disarmed.
onto myself.
Yeah. You took the whole
Look
thing.
at this idiot.
Yeah, man. Damn, that's hilarious too. I like a kind of like a rock show too. Like you would not expect
Yeah.
that.
I don't know if that lady knew what kind of show she was at, though.
Oh
so.
yeah, she was in a different show miles away.
She does not remember the Killmer show.
She will never forget.
That's awesome. Yeah. Or maybe she got forgotten soon.
Hey, cheers, motherfuckers.
Cheers, guys. Yeah.
Cheers, y'all.
Episode 30 minutes. So here we are.
Thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely.
Man. Thanks again for tuning in to Shut Up and Listen. For more captivating content, including videos, articles, and everything music related, visit our website at shutupbham.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts and join the conversation by following us at Shut Up and Listen BHAM on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Shut Up and Listen is proudly produced by Rocket Soul and Binary Recording Studio. Stay tuned for more fantastic episodes.
What are the upside down sunglasses for, man?
I'm fucking around.
The present is so
I'm
bright.
fucking around. Hell yeah. Goddamn. All right. So since you just came out to Bellingham, we've about a year in now, right?
Yeah.
Let's give some shout outs. Who would say you like some of your favorite acts that you've seen around town?
Oh, yeah,
And things of
yeah.
that nature.
Yeah, we've been fortunate to play with some great artists, and I mean,
Who
honestly,
the ones
just,
that blew you away? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Them
sure.
motherfuckers.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of like Devin Champlin and Sons of Rainier. Like those
Hell
guys
yeah.
are amazing. Dean Johnson from Sons of Rainier, the guitar player.
Yep.
His record is, I mean, a perfect 11 for me. That album's like transcendent. So, you know, like moving up here to play with my friend Ethan Johnson, like he's in that, like that's very much his scene, like the
realm,
subdued
yeah.
string band thing and all that. Like,
So you're going to be at the Jamboree now.
you know, ideally, yeah, that's the plan.
gonna be at a Jamboree.
If I'm not out
a
playing
vibe.
the shows, that's where
never
I'll
been.
be. Yeah. And, so like that, you know, that kind of music's real, you know, Killmer is a real amalgamation of all these like different guys. Like my background's very much more like folky, bluesy rock and roll thing, where like Brett, the bass player, and other songwriters like punk, metal, hardcore, like all that sort of stuff. And then Austin, our drummer, he's all of it. Like he's probably got the most. I like all of the stuff that Brett has, but like even more recently, like in the last 5-10 years, like that's like going heavier music is like newer for me.
Yeah.
But like Austin, he's been all of it all the time. So it's really great that we've got like these three personalities that
leaning
kind
on
of
each other too, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, like for me coming up here was kind of thinking that I would be plugging in more to that scene, but then like joining Full Color Dream, I've gotten to
You
do
went
all of these. Like, yeah, I've jumped right into the rock scene. So like we're big fans of Checker Bloom. We've gotten to play.
Checker Bloom is nasty.
Sick.
They're a
Hey.
great band. We've gotten to do a show. Kilmer's played with them. Arcana is a new band that we've
Arcana's
played with.
fire,
They're
too.
awesome. You know, I mean, Bellingham's like for such a, you know, it's not Portland, it's not Seattle, but it's still got so much going
got
on
energy.
for
It's
it.
buzzing.
You know, oh
There
yeah,
is, it's buzzing.
I
There's,
think
there's
that- I
always
mean-
there's always something going on.
And I think that there's like still so much to be mined too. Like when you like in the Northwest, you look at there's like Portland, Seattle, Vancouver, you know, Canada. It's like Bellingham is such a logical stop of a place where there's like people who really care about arts and music. It's like, I think that we should be trying to get more people to come here and do like, this is a great tour stopover, especially because things are so spread far apart. Like as a band who's trying to go out and play shows, it's like there's only so many places that you can go and stop where people are actually going to really care about what you do. And this is one of them, you know, and I think we should be getting more people, especially like those like, you know, mid-level indie bands being like, yeah, I'm going to stop at the Shakedown. We're going to stop at the Buff. I'm, you know, like those things should be happening.
people who will give a shit for sure.
Yeah,
in Bellingham.
man. Yeah. They're
Or
all
even
here.
if they don't know, they'll still give it an
Even
opportunity.
if they don't know, because people are, like you said, they're hyped about the arts and music.
One of the coolest experiences we had in Killmer was like we were sound checking at the Shakedown, and someone was on a first date, and she like came to she's like heard us sound checking, came to the show. She's like, this first date was horrible, but this music was fucking awesome. I'm a huge fan now. And I was like, that's a great story. You know, like, so even,
But was Buddy right there?
I don't know what guy was. I feel like,
But no, I'm saying,
was
was
gone.
like, all right, damn.
She's like, now that guy's gone.
Hey, this date sucked with this guy, but y'all motherfuckers.
hey,
is
but it
good.
led to
like,
being
hey,
a Killmer fan, so it's good by us.
You want a lap dance?
Oh,
That's
man.
great, man.
So before we move forward and we have you play a song for us, one thing I love to do is ask. It doesn't have to be music related. It can be about anything. Well, actually, first of all, where can everybody find you? And where can they find Killmer? Where can it,
Yeah, for sure. So we're, you know, our Instagram is kind of the one-stop shop for like where you can find a bunch of our stuff, but that our band is Killmer, Killmer, the double L.
Kill.
Yeah, Killmer. It's a tip of the hat to one of our heroes, Val Kilmer, but you know, you got to go SEO and add that extra L. So
Exactly. I love it.
But yeah, that's a good spot. And we're on, you know, Bandcamp. Of course, you can check us out there. All the music's up
Make
there.
sure you buy stuff on Bandcamp Fridays, folks.
Sure. You know,
Support
we're on
bands on
all
Bandcamp.
all the streamers. We're out there, and you know, we got a link tree. You can catch all. We're trying to keep that updated, and all our stuff's on there. So
Nice.
Yeah, you know, we're out there on the internet. So
On the interwebs, yes. All right, so last thing right here before we have you play a song for us. What's one piece of advice you have for the people out there?
yeah, okay. One piece of advice.
Be anything.
Sure. I think that, you know, for me, in my experience of getting to this place of like, I'm 34 years old and I'm sitting here in this band with two of my best friends and making my favorite music that I've ever made and having a great time doing it, and been very fortunate in this last year and looking forward that like all these opportunities that are coming across to us have just been, you know, things I've never gotten to do before as a musician. And I think that for me, the thing is just do it for fun, you know, and all of the things that are going to come after it are going to be so rewarding. And I think for me, like, again, like talking about being silly and dropping your self-seriousness, like just recognizing that I'm here to have a good time with my buddies and like, and to create, you know, like to make something that I believe in. If I believe in it and if I'm having fun, then all of the things that come after it are going to be fun and beautiful. And so far, the proof is in the pudding for me that it's going good. So, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, can I go with one big clap for that? God damn.
That should just peak
That
like
hits.
a motherfucker. You know, that peaked crazy.
I know, I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
Bob. Well, at this time, I want to say thank you so much. This was phenomenal. This is dope.
This is amazing.
Thank
Also-
you guys. Great conversation.
Yeah.
Although I'm
good
going this
combo.
weekend, I'm going to catch you a show later. I'm going to catch a show when I get back
yeah.
at some point, for sure.
We got you a guestless spot. Any of you boys. Come on out.
Say word, nigga.
Come hang. We got
I'll
you.
return
Come
the favor.
hang,
What you
say
doing on
less.
June 27th?
Hanging out with you probably, right?
26.
Coming on 26. As a matter of fact, coming on 26.
Love
Both.
I got 26 and 27. But let's do 26 because that's me and him.
it. Cool. Love it.
We'll link up again for sure, man.
Yeah.
Cheers, y'all.
Hell yeah. Cheers, guys.
And to all the folks out there, make sure you stay hydrated, stay moisturized.
Stay
Wash your
shutting up and
ass.
listening.
Use deodorant, bro. It's hot. It's hot out there. A lot of y'all forget. And during the wintertime, you don't got to wear deodorant. No, that's cap, bro. Wear deodorant through the winter. And because you haven't been wearing it through the winter, now you out here being musty while it's hot.
Don't
We
be
can
musty.
smell you, bro.
Don't be
Put on
musty.
deodorant. You know who you are.
It's like $2.
It's like it's a solid 6-7 now,
Actually,
dog.
yeah,
Inflation.
you're right.
Hit the dollar store. I don't give a fuck. Put some deodorant on. Stay lovely. Stay beautiful. Just shut up
and listen.
My name is CHRVNS.
My name is Ovrthnkr.
I'm Nico from Killmer.
And we wish you a beautiful day.
Cut.
Send it. All right. What they crave, sell them yesterday. Used to work, it'll work again. Captive audience will sing along with me. Don't read science fiction, faith in a fairy tale endings. Play me back on tape. I am the actor, I am the scene. Hey son, what do you say? Play me back on tape. My progression is regression. Hey son, what do you say? I got the VHS, rambles on repeat. Freeze frame the 1980s, we're making them believe. Future past, well, it's what you need. Safe inside nostalgia, safe when nothing changes. Play me back on tape. I am the actor, I am the scene. Hey son, what do you say? Play me back on tape. My progression is regression. Hey son, what do you say? Play me back on tape. I am the actor, I am the scene. Hey son, what do you say? Play me back on tape. My progression is regression. Hey son, what do you say? Play me back on tape. My progression is regression. Hey son, what do you say? Hi, this was VHS by Killmer.